Hi guys, today we're talking to a top tutor in the English section. His name's Arman. He's got 5,500 classes done. He's got 189 reviews, and every single one of them is ecstatic. I wanted to talk to him for some time because he's very successful at what he does. He's working 12 to 14 hours every day. So today we're going to be talking about his schedule, how he handles it, also about health issues and how to avoid them, looking after your body, also your mind, and also your spirit. And also long-term client retention, how to keep those clients in and keep them happy. Check it
Okay.
out.
So, hi, Arman. How's it going?
Hi, I'm pretty good. How you doing, David?
Doing good, thanks. Obviously, we're both very busy. How much are you working these days?
Not as much as I used to. So it's been a bit quiet, around August time. I was doing about 12, sometimes 14 hours a day when it was exam season. But in September, I was pretty quiet. It's been
Yeah,
good.
did you
That's why I
did
have
you
time for
find
this wonderful interview.
did you did you find oh, thanks very much. Thanks for coming on. Did you find that during the summer months this year there was a dip, or did you have like full on classes?
Well, I mean, the first 2 weeks of August, I had quite a few medical students, which really bumped up my hours. But the last 2 weeks, pretty quiet. It stayed quiet throughout September. It's starting to get a bit busy again. But yeah, definitely a dip. It's probably because of the lockdowns ending and stuff like that. So people are going back to work. A lot of my students went back to school, back to university. So it's the most likely reason.
Yeah, that's what I saw this year in comparison to last year. That's why I'm asking, because last year it was constant. It was all this COVID stuff. Everyone was panicking. Everyone wanted to get the extra hours in. And then this year, I saw a real drop in my hours, which I wasn't expecting, but it was nice to get some time off. It was nice to have like, less work to do. Okay, cool. What we're going to do is we're going to have a look at your profile, basically, because this
Okay.
interview is for it's for new tutors or um, just starting out. Actually, someone like yourself, you've done quite a few classes. How many classes have you done? Like 5,000?
Um, yeah, it's just over, I think, 5,500 or something.
Great. And how long have you been on pre-play for?
I think just about 2 years. I started December 2019.
Wow. How many hours do you usually work a week? Because we're talking about hours.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, like the most I've ever worked is about 75 hours. The average is about 40, 45, maybe 50. It just depends on, how much, but I'm lying really. I think 70, 70 you can say usually, but again,
And
last 3, 4 weeks, it's been about 50 or 40.
okay. And do you work every day, or do you get a day off?
Well, I have Fridays off until about 3 o'clock, and I have Friday evening off as well from 8 o'clock
Fridays,
onwards.
Fridays off until about 3 o'clock. When do you start? In the
Yeah.
morning?
So I
That's
no
not a
no
day off.
so I usually start 10 a.m. Until 5:30, and then I'll have a 2 hour break or maybe 3 hour break and start from either 7:30 to 8:30. I have my schedule open until 1:30, but I'm not usually booked until 1:30.
Do you,
But
do you do
yeah.
that every day? Do you have a break every day?
Yeah, breaks every day. I
What I
mean,
mean
I
is,
do two
what I mean is,
hours.
yeah, do you have a 2 hour break every day, or do you just
Yeah,
work
every
like?
day. Yeah.
Yeah, I,
No,
I
no.
started
So
doing that. Like, I made a video about this a couple of months ago about burnout because I could completely
mhm,
destroy myself working so hard. And then
yeah.
um, I had to like really be really strict about it and sit down and be like, I can't keep doing this because I'm not going to last in the long run. I had to scale things down. So I was working more for like the next 3 years or something, right? Not just for the next 6 months. And one of the things I really had to do was say, I'm going to start at 5 a.m., not 3 a.m. I'm going to start at 5 a.m.
Mhm,
every day. I'm going to give myself more time in the morning to wake up, to have breakfast, like a regular, like half hour, 40 minutes to actually wake up properly instead of just waking up and going straight into work. Because before that,
mhm,
what I was doing was just waking up, like I got class in 5 minutes. I grab a coffee and drink it in class and just get straight into it. But it completely screws up your headspace. And I gave myself these buffers. So my question is, do you have that? Do you have like a 3 hour block in the midday? Because how I got through it eventually, my new schedule was I stop at 10 a.m. and then I start again at like 2 p.m. and I had this like family time and time to really relax at midday. Is that what you do every day?
mhm. Yeah, I mean, I have a pretty normal schedule. So I'd start at 10 a.m. I do 2 hours from 10 to 12, and then I'll have a half an hour break, maybe eat some lunch. And then from 12:30 until 5:30, I'll do 5 hours. And then I'll normally have a 2 hour or 3 hour break, and I'll start working at 7:30 or 8:30. And again, when I'm full, then I'll go until 1:30 a.m. But usually I'll do about maybe 4 or 5 in the evening. Nobody usually books the 12:30 to 1:30 time slot. So no, I mean, I know what you mean. I've seen a lot of tutors who just have their schedule open as one continuous block, and they do back to back 10 hours, 9 hours. And I think that's really, really, really unhealthy. Like even doing 5 hours straight is pretty unhealthy. But as I said, I have the blocks open. So if, some days I'm busy, some days I'm not. And if I am busy that day, great. That means I make good money that day. But as I said, usually I wouldn't be doing 13 lessons every day unless it's exam period, or if I'm stupidly busy. So I mean, last month I wasn't. So I lowered my price from $42.50 to $30, and I got about what 15 students in the space of 48 hours. But what I learned was that you need those regular students. So I've got a mixture now of like exam students, students who are just doing regular conversational classes, and it's the regular students who will help you to survive when you have quiet periods. So that's what I'm trying to build up now. Just get a load of $30 students, just doing one lesson a week or two lessons a week. And that way, if worst comes to worst, if Preply hides my profile, or if the algorithm doesn't smile upon me, then I will just have my regular students and survive, really.
I totally agree with you. What got me through the years is having those regular students, and I still got them on an old price because I value loyalty. So I've had these guys, I've had students for like 2 years now, and I'm teaching them. They came back after the summer this year, and it's like, hey guys, how you doing? Some of them changed countries. They were like in one country, and quite a lot of them have shuffled around. I think we get quite a lot of those international students moving around. And yes, they definitely, those are the stickers. They get you through the hard times. It's very nice to have them. And that was my question, really. What do you have more of now? Do you have more long-term students, or do you have short-term students? Because I've seen on your profile that, and we talked about this before, is that you do short courses of like 5 hours or 6 hours to get people prepped for exams. And then I will talk about in a second as well about your profile, about how many reviews you have, and the quality of your reviews, and they're just banging. I mean, these people are like really, really passionate about what you do, and they really appreciate how you're helping. Okay, so yeah, do you have more long-term students, or do you have shorter-term students doing short courses?
Well, I have about maybe 10 or 11 students who've been with me from pretty much day one. The price when I first started was at $9, but all of them now are at either $25 or $30. And yeah, I mean, with the crash courses, people usually come to me when they've done when they've done the IELTS exam maybe 10 times, and they have no choice left. So, say, oh, Arman, please help me. My exam is this Saturday, or my exam is in 2 weeks. And yeah, I mean, these students are great because they'll buy maybe 6 or 12 hours. They'll do 2 hours a day for about maybe a week or 2 weeks. And that's really, builds up bulk. Yeah, so you can make good money fast from them. And obviously, I'm pretty good at what I do. So, my pass rate's about 95% for students looking for 7 and above. So, they do the lessons fast, they get the results, and, they leave a nice review, which it's nice. It's nice to be appreciated.
I think you're being humble when you say you're pretty good at what you do. I mean, like, if you look at the reviews, I was looking through it earlier today. They're absolutely, like I said, they're absolutely crazy. Okay, the other thing you're talking about, you have students who have done the exam 10 times and failed. And I've just recently got this. I just recently got a bunch of students doing engineering exams, and they failed the exam a whole bunch of times. And you come along and save them basically and get them through it. And I was just thinking, like, how many jobs have we got people like over the years? Like, how many people, like, because I do exams where people get promotions after it. And what about the IELTS? What do they do after the IELTS? Do they need them for university or for immigration purposes?
I mean, it's a really weird thing with some of my IELTS students. So a lot of them are actually native English speakers, and they need to get band 7.5 for writing, which is incredibly tough. And if they study any part of their medical training outside of the UK, then they have to pass IELTS, even though it's their first language. Like, the British government says you have to pass IELTS. So, these kinds of students, like they should be the easiest ones to help, but they're actually the hardest because they don't know any basic grammar. So it's hard to, they have lots of bad habits, and these exams aren't designed for, native English speakers. And funny enough, they're the ones who normally either pass with flying colors or they totally fail. And I've totally forgotten what the question was now. I'm sorry.
Sorry. What I would like to ask you about next is looking at your profile and what you're describing now, it sounds like you're describing a very niche market. And my question really is, this is all to do with where to go in the future and how to be successful, especially in the pre-price space. But how especially how to be successful in the pre-price space with the 12,000 or 13,000 English tutors is how to get into a niche market and profit off it, or make use of it. So it sounds to me like you have a very niche market. And I saw on your profile, you're the first person I've seen who's done this, is you say, well, the first person I've seen who's done this, you say like, this is what I'm very good at. And you're mentioning all the things you're mentioning, and then you say, this is what I definitely don't do. I definitely don't teach children under 11 years old and things like this. So you're being very clear about what you do, and you're really defining your niche. You're really defining, like, I don't do that. I just say I do everything. I help everybody all the time. Anything you got. I even end up teaching, I was teaching English the other day, English, science, as well as just my maths, because I take everything I possibly can. How did you find that niche market?
Well, the job interview prep thing, I hate it more than anything because these types of students, they have no interest in buying lessons. What they do is they just use Preply's free trial lesson thing. Their job interview might be on Monday, so they're trying to get as much experience as possible by getting free lessons from teachers. And yeah, I mean, I can teach it, but I don't teach it in the trial lessons. Also, I don't teach TOEFL, I don't teach OAT. There's very specialized exams, and TOEFL's American. I hate American accents so much, so I can't deal with the listening sections too much. Just the accent, just really, really just grates on my brain because the listening section is about 5 minutes long for each little part. Children under 11, I'm just, you need a lot of energy for that, and I'm old, I'm fat, and I don't have the kind of, clownish energy as I used to. But no, I mean, the main thing is the conversion rate. So, every time I get a trial lesson and they want to do job interview prep, and I know they have no interest in going any further, they're just, trying to get as much practice in as possible, then it lowers down your conversion rate. Same with students I know I can't teach, so they book a trial lesson, and sometimes they don't write any messages. So when we do the lesson, then they say, "Oh, can you teach me this exam?" No, sorry. Or or it's a 5-year-old kid waving at me. I'm like, sorry, no. Or they're A2 level or beginners, because although yes, I can teach these levels, it's just better for them to have a teacher in their own native language to explain the rules to them properly. They'll learn much faster. And then after pre-intermediate level, then that's fine for a native English speaker.
I get it. So when did you do that? When did you change your profile? Because it sounds like that comes from bitter experience or from experience. It sounds like you've gone through those things, So when did you do that? When did you change your profile to put those in?
Well, I mean, not that long ago, actually. It's about 3 days ago. So I just extended my video a bit because of this little lull in students. I was considering applying for other platforms. So they wanted a video where you're teaching something. So I made the video a bit longer, and then suddenly I got busy again. So I didn't apply to any more platforms. This is like the Preply trap. But I haven't really seen much difference. I mean, I don't really think people even read the profile. I think they watch the video for like maybe 10 seconds and make the decision. Because I've had many, I've had many students, shocked when they say, "Oh, so you used to be an examiner for IELTS." Well, yeah, I mean, it's on my profile, but nobody reads that. They might just go to reviews or just, that's it really, I think.
That's a very good point, actually, because like I said, this interview is more for those new guys starting out, or in our case, the tutors are around 3,000 or 4,000 classes looking to get up to that next stage. And I can see what you're saying about I do the same thing with the profile videos. Is when I'm searching for a teacher for my daughter, for example, and I don't want to pay too much, so I search for all the cheap tutors, and you're searching for that certain price point, but you don't have time. You to be watching a 3-minute video. It's just 3 seconds. It's like no, No. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
You can really, unfortunately, you can really judge someone. Unfortunately, we really judge people in first impressions, right? In a very, very short period of
Yeah.
time.
I mean, that's why I kept my old video. Like, I just had my old video, but I just extended it. So, people watch the first minute, that's fine. But if they are interested in seeing what writing lessons would look like, then that's also there as well.
But did you? I didn't watch.
Um,
I'm sorry, I didn't watch your video in
no, no,
preparation
they don't
for
need
this.
to watch it. Don't
Did
worry.
you? Did you just? I don't have a minute. It's too long. Did you tag on a bit onto the end of it? Did you just edit a bit onto the
Yeah,
end of it?
yeah, yeah. I just
That's okay.
extended.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I
That's
just,
cool.
I just did like I put into three sections. So first part is the intro. Second part is just me showing, how I teach IELTS and CAE and CPE, and the last part just for reviews. I was gonna, as I was gonna apply for other platforms. That's why I put the reviews on there. And we'll see. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I just don't have the energy to deal with two platforms because Preply calendar doesn't work, and I have to do it manually. I got a lot of lessons, so
Yeah,
just have to
yeah.
see.
We have.
See what
There are
happens.
solutions. There are solutions to this. I'm definitely working on them right now. I'm learning a lot about Google Calendar and all this stuff. And there's definitely solutions to synchronizing between platforms. So I'll let you know about that afterwards.
Sure.
Okay, there was one other thing, which yeah, what do you choose? What do you choose to put onto your profile? You said you have a text, and I read it. It is quite short and it is quite sparse. Like you said, like people don't read it. I go the complete opposite way. My text is absolutely massive, and I put my whole life story and then some into it. So what do you choose to put into the thing?
I don't know, really. I mean, I try to keep it as simple as possible
But I mean, that's my
because,
point. Is do you keep it short and simple? Is that's what you're looking
yeah,
for?
because yeah, you have to consider, you have to grade your language depending on your audience. So my audience are people who are not very good at English. So I keep it super simple in a way which they can read it easily, understand it, and then decide if I'm the right teacher for them. But other things, I put my certifications on there. So yes, this is what I'm qualified with, but I don't think, again, most people know what CELTA or Delta or TEFL is. It's nice to have, teachers know it, but the average student doesn't care. So it's
Yeah,
really, I mean, it's all about how well they connect with you, how responsive you are, and the trial lesson. If they like you, then great. If they don't, then that's fine as well. That's life.
yeah, I agree. It's much more about personality than
Mhm.
qualifications help, but personality and experience is really, really up there. Okay, I got some standard questions for you.
Sure.
Where do you work when you're giving classes? Do you work in your living room, or do you have an office, or you go between the two, like in the kitchen, in the bedroom?
Well, there's four bedrooms in my house. One of them is my son's room. The other is the master bedroom. I've got an office, and the other room's the cat's room, I guess. There's nothing there. It's just like cat's room and where I smoke. But no, I'm literally always in this room. But obviously, I take 5-minute breaks after every lesson. I do some squats. I stretch. I smoke, obviously,
How,
and
how do you get how do you get
yeah.
the 5 minutes in?
I just tell the students that look, I work like a madman. So
This is
the
my
lessons.
yeah, these are my conditions.
Mm. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fair enough.
no, I
That's fair
just,
enough.
I just, most of them are understanding.
Yeah.
I've only ever had one student in my life who wasn't happy of it. She goes, "Oh, but then you have to give me an extra lesson after every 6 lessons or something." And I said,
20
well,
every
I
20.
can. Well, yeah, I don't know. You're a maths teacher, aren't you? So yeah, and I said, well, look, I mean, if it bothers you, of course, I'll give you an extra lesson, but it's very, very rare. I mean, I tell them, look, I mean, I want to keep the quality for every lesson. So if I don't stand up every 5 minutes, have a break, then I will go insane. So I said, everyone understands apart from
Yeah.
one.
So this is, and my
Yeah.
next point is from a health point of view, because obviously you
Mhm.
are working very long hours and you do, yeah, you work in very long hours and you do a lot of work. So what measures or what steps do you take in order to look after your health?
Yeah, I mean, so honestly, the last year, not much. I was eating lots of fast food. I wasn't walking very much. I wasn't exercising because I was just so busy. I was constantly doing lesson after lesson after lesson. But now what I do is I do an hour on the running machine every day. I find time sometime during the day or early in the morning. But at night time, I do an hour walk because I have a step counter on my phone. And I realized that when I just work, I walk about maybe 1,000 steps a day, which is pretty bad. But even when I do an hour on the running machine, then it's about 6,000 steps. And if I do an hour on the running machine and an hour walk outside, then it gets to about maybe 12,000 steps, you can say. So, now I'm doing it every day. So I'm finding time, even if it's 1:30 in the morning, I'm going for an hour walk
Oh,
around the
good, good, yeah.
complex.
I found the same kind of thing. Like I have a running machine. I tried to get it under my desk. It wasn't working, and I never use it in the house. And I have to get outside. I spend so long in the office, working. That the best thing for me is just to go for a walk. I do a half-hour walk every couple of days. But I found myself this last year doing no exercise. The combination of lockdown and COVID it's just made it really, really difficult to get out. And then, as well as large amounts of work. Okay, yeah. But I mean, you got to look after yourself. What about things like your hands, your eyes, and your back? You take any special measures for those?
Yeah, funny enough. So my back's fine, no problems. I mean, I actually spent like £1,000 on a really, really nice professional chair. And then my back started hurting 10 times more when I started using it. So now I'm just literally using a normal chair, like literally a chair from from the balcony table. A table in the balcony.
I found the best thing was like a stool, like because you have
Yeah,
to support your back, right? A
exactly.
no back on the thing stool. That's the best. Like a small, simple one.
And finally, my hands. So they're starting to get a bit bumpy.
What about carpal tunnel? Yeah, I'm really afraid about carpal tunnel now. I didn't know anything about carpal tunnel. I didn't know anything about that, but
I mean, you need one of these. This is an ergonomical. I can't remember the name of it. It's some kind of like arthritis. Yeah, that's the one. You got the same one?
I don't know. I don't. I got some.
So you hold it like this.
So
you click like this. Yeah.
I got one of those.
And it took away all the pain because I had some pain in my fingers because I was typing so much, correcting so many essays. But no, this mouse just fixed it up and it's easy to use. I learned how to use it in like 30 seconds.
What about your keyboard?
I just have a laptop. No, I'm a very simple man. Yeah, I just have a normal laptop.
Yeah, like a split keyboard or anything like.
No, just a laptop. That's it, laptop keyboard.
No super touch screens or anything.
No, just normal laptop.
What about, I want to start developing how do you say virtual reality classes with virtual reality glasses, but we're a long way off. Yeah, I can't do any of that stuff. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Any other special equipment?
No, just laptop, mouse, glasses. My webcam is like.
What about your eyes? I mean, what about? I see a lot of people are very conscious about the amount of light and screen time and stuff.
No, that's a very good point. So I usually wear these glasses when I'm teaching. Like I only wear them when I'm teaching. These are blue light filters. So yeah, I had a problem with my eyes about 6 months working because I was just staring at the screen all the time. And then the doctor said, your eyes are fine. You don't need a prescription, but just wear blue light filters. Like this is the most important thing. If you want to work extensive hours, make sure that blue light is blocked. I think there's like a night light as well. So I have it on slightly all day. But yeah, that's all you need really, just the blue light filter glasses.
Oh, I don't even know what blue light is. Everyone talks about that.
Oh, so it's just a special kind of lens. And I said, like, if you speak to an optician, they will know what it is.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I should do that. I should talk to more doctors. I never go to the doctor. I never go to anybody. I just look after myself, but I should start doing it. Like, it's a very good point. Any like, I mean, I know it's very personal, but any physical symptoms due to working too much and maybe eating badly or not moving around so much, like any serious pains or anything that made you say, whoa, this is like, I should slow down a bit. Like,
yeah, a lot. So basically, what I didn't realize was, even though the mind says you can work 12 hours, 14 hours a day, your body says no. Especially my body says no. So I was having some problems sleeping. So my heart was just like skipping beats, and I was terrified. I thought, oh no, maybe I've got a heart problem. And went to the doctor, did various tests. He said, no, your heart is too healthy. Yes, too healthy. I didn't really say that. But no, it was anxiety. So, it can, even though like I have no stress, like my students are fine. I'm not worried about any of them, failing their exams. So, I'm upfront with the students I take on. But no, my heart was, having problems. So I thought maybe it's just about maybe I need to exercise more. So, I did that. I exercised and the symptoms went away.
I saw that. I saw that as well. Like, I had palpitations.
That's it. Yeah.
And I got a bit worried, I can't be having a heart attack at my age, what's going on? And then I looked it up online. It turns out it's just stress or just like work related stuff. So I cut down my coffee and did more exercise.
Yeah.
And then I didn't cut down on my coffee. I'm drinking like 4 cups a day again,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
same as me. Well,
But,
it's free
but
maximum.
it really is exercise. Yeah, try to
Yeah.
keep the energy drinks completely off the.
Yeah. So what were you like gasping for breath before you fell asleep?
No, like I never had panic attacks when I was younger either, and I do like meditation, and I do try to keep myself centered, and I do a lot of mindfulness, and I do put a lot of effort into that, really, 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 to keep myself aware of things. That's why I'm asking you about it, because what I do is I talk to people who are a few
Yeah.
years older than me, like who are 10 years older than me, have done it, and this is why I'm asking
Yeah.
you about it, because these guys had physical symptoms, like they gave themselves stomach ulcers, for example, or
Yeah.
because they ignore the physical symptoms. They take
Well,
paracetamol or ibuprofen, or one girl
yeah.
gave herself diabetes because she was working too hard. And before it gets to that kind of stage, is what I'm saying. That's why I'm
Yeah.
asking you about it.
I mean, the only thing I can think of was just my fingers. So on my right hand, like you can see, it's a little bit swollen. I don't know if you can see really, but the
Yeah,
bumpy.
yeah.
And I had lots of pain in my fingers, and I was thinking, oh no, maybe I'm getting arthritis. So I traveled 4 hours to see a specialist, and she saw me for about 30 seconds. She checked my fingers like this, and she says, no, you have no problems with your joints. You're just really, really fat. You need to lose 20 kilos. It's like, oh, okay, great. And the funny thing is, the second she said that, the pain in my hand went away. So like I'm saying, like your mind might say yes, but your body is, you have to listen to your body.
I'm very aware. I'm very keen on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking you about it. Oh, that's awesome. All right. What else we got? Oh, I asked you about your equipment, and how has your life changed since working as an online tutor? Has there been any like
Yeah.
major changes?
Yeah, no, it's gone pretty good. So my income compared to when I was working in school has gone up by times. So I make more than I would make in a year in less than 3 weeks now working on Preply. So obviously that comes with consequences. So I've managed to invest in property. I've managed to fully pay off a new house. So it's nice. Yeah, it's very nice.
Very
And
good.
because the place where I live, it's pretty cheap. So my plan is just to save up. Well, every $40,000, I can just buy a new house. So that is the dream. Just keep buying houses, and then maybe in 5 years, then I'm done. I'm not going to work like crazy anymore. But realistically, 6 months, I'm going to stop working like crazy because I have no reason to after that, after my remaining debt is paid.
That's what I see as well. Like keeping the motivation high is, yes, we are the same. We bought a car. They're very expensive here where I live in Argentina. Also, I see as well a lot of people are leveraging the difference in pay scales between their physical location and the salary they're earning. There's a lot of expats, European and North American expats doing this kind of stuff. I do see that a lot on Preply as well. But that was basically my next question was, where do you see yourself in 3 or 5 years time? And you just basically told me.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really plan anything. I didn't even plan for this interview. I know you sent me those questions twice. I never read it even once.
Good.
Because,
Wasn't
like
spontaneous.
yeah, I mean, what I've learned in my life is that if you plan something, things never go to plan. So you should have short-term plans. Like my short-term plan was just to make some money so I can invest in some, houses and other stuff. But long-term, we have to wait and see. Anything can happen. But ideally, I would say working much less, maybe just 8 hours a day. 4 lessons daytime, 4 lessons in well, maybe 5 lessons, well, maybe 7 lessons daytime, maybe 2 in the evening.
That's what I was doing. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's what I was doing for my get better after burning myself out schedule. Is I scaled it down to 60 hours a week, which turned out to be about like 10 hours a day or something, like 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and that was very, very sustainable. And I did that for about 5 weeks, felt much better, and then loads of work came along. Now this last 5 weeks I've been working like 17 hours a day, 15, 16, 17 hours a day, because I've got this one guy who's studying 5 hours a day every day. Is crazy. And that just adds on to my 10 hours plus the 5 hours is like 15. Like it's completely blown out of the water, but it's short term. I'm going to do it over 5 weeks maximum and stop it. So this is something about sustainability that I have to do. We have to talk about. I have to get another YouTube video on it about working like really, really hard for short periods and then chilling it out, and then working hard again when you have to, when you need to, or when people ask you to, because people need help. People are like, can you help me? Like you're saying about your short-term students who want to do, short blocks of very, very intensive hours. Awesome. Oh, any best advice for new tutors out there? What's your? If you had to say one thing, what would it be?
you just got to be confident. You got to know what you're doing. You have to, if a student asks you a question about anything, grammar or something similar, or any exam, you have to answer very quickly and be confident. Because if the student loses confidence in you, then you won't get that student. But if you know your craft well, then you'll be fine. Again, but start low. I said my price was $9 and my highest was $42.50. And it didn't really matter how much I was charging, because of referrals and because of good good comments, good reviews. Students came. So as long as you do your job well, you'll be fine. And just make sure you prepare for everything. Make sure you have good lesson plans.
Oh yeah, I don't plan my lessons anymore.
Yeah, neither do I. But it's good advice.
Used to. But I got it all here, right? You got all the the
no,
repertoire,
that's the same as me. So.
But
I mean, well, what I do is I have textbooks. Yeah, so I every page of the textbook is just an individual pages, and I know a student's weakness if they have problem with present perfect tense, then I'll just send the worksheets for that and do it in the lesson. But it took a long time to get to that level.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that's the difference between a new teacher and an experienced teacher, is that when you're a new teacher, you have to make those lesson plans, and it takes up so much of your time and so much of your energy, and then you have to adapt it, and you end up adapting it so much, you end up throwing the whole thing out and just going with it anyway. And then, like I said, after 5 or 6 years of teaching, or 10 years, even better, you have it all up here and you have it on demand. Okay, that's great. Thanks for coming in. We got to stop because we've got other things to do. It's been nice to talk to you again, and I'll see you later.
You too.